Alrighty then guys, and a very warm welcome to another Shakes and Fidget episode. My name is Bastian, we are on server 1 Europe, and there are some news to talk about. I mean, the last part of the server was in German, so now it's in English. And first of all, I made it to Hollow Knight 15. I was lucky with the daily login, so I got like 700,000 wood. And I was lucky with the gambler. I got 4 times wood as well, and in total it was enough to get Hall of Fame 15. 12.4 million and 5 wood and 5 million stones. Yeah, and yeah, Coena Capitas is now kind of the top contender for place 1. Most of the fights for the summer had been won in the past, and well, what I saw is that Everlast got in front of Asylum, so that's really interesting to see how the progress will go, and soon we will have a specific look at the guilds. And most of the guilds which I mentioned in the videos before are growing in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, I think Kings could grind up a little bit more still. And well, you see my tower is almost 298. I don't have that much thirst left today, and at the moment there are Taurius, and Zephyrs over level 300. Then Vendetta made it over 300 as well. I'm not sure where he is here. And then the Brady was getting to 299 even yesterday. And I am just like at 297, so I will just try now to get to 300, but it's really hard. So I have a specific amount of mushrooms which I will use, and basically I just have to try Shadow World dungeon, like floor 9 and 10 and floor 1 and 2, which means it would be like 4 dungeons. They grant 250 million in average. That should be almost enough to get to 300, but still I will need to beat some twisted dungeons. Light World is really hard. This guy gives 300 million, I have no chance. This guy gives almost 300 million, I have no chance at the moment. This guy gives not a lot of XP, and the chance is pretty low, as well as these guys. And this guy is impossible at the moment. This dungeon as well. So as you can see, I made it through Jan the Hammerer. Jack the Hammerer. This was the fight for the 13th floor, so I made him with level 288. It was close. And then I beat him again in the Shadow World, yeah. But unfortunately, he didn't give me 300 million XP in that time, yeah. It was a nice crit meanwhile. And well, my weapon is like 2 levels old. I could get I could get a bit of stronger weapon, but this wouldn't affect the chances in the Shadow World. Not that much, to be honest. Yeah. And so I actually don't want to find another weapon, and unless I have to do. But let's see how it works. Let's see how we will be able to beat those shadow dungeons. I'm not sure if I will make it. Oh yeah, and please, everybody, do not follow my example. Yeah, this way of playing right now is not cheap. Yeah, so I mean, within this epic event, I invested like 9k mushrooms to get a progress going. And I will waste mushrooms now as well. So don't do it if you cannot afford it, yeah? Thank you. Okay. Yes, I made it. I didn't expect it to go that fast, to be honest. And now we are tip of the iceberg. 300. Yay! And I'm the fourth. Fourth. The fourth mage to reach this level. Yeah. So Brady will make it much sure, and perhaps people of my guild will follow up, like Colo or Sivers. Yeah. And seriously, I thought I would need more mushrooms. So with everything I did in between, like changing some gear, I had to use 500, 600 mushrooms and to beat those 4 dungeons and, well, 1 twisted dungeon. Oh no, I made 2 twisted dungeons. I think it was important to make those 2 as well. And yeah, still, the whole process is really, really expensive. And the key is, like, leveling, I think it goes for all classes. But as mage, the key is as well the shadow build. I mean, by leveling yourself, you improve your comrades, and Kunigund, for example, is really, really important for shadow build as well. Yeah, and I think let's just see how those were the 3 dungeons I made now. So if you just go to the next fight, Warrior didn't do much. Okay, the mage did some damage, so if your Mark Ward does like a lot of crits, it's nice. And actually Kunigun didn't do that much there. So okay. Look, like this was really close. Yeah. This was a really close fight. 8 million for Bertram. Magic Mark didn't do anything here. Magic Mark couldn't do anything, yeah. Okay, in that time, the Unicorn made like 30 millions. 30 millions, yeah. And I knew if I beat Happy Slappy, Blind Knife Thrower will be a little bit easier in terms of chances, yeah. And yeah, I'm not sure if it goes for all classes as well, but Um, in general, scouts as opponents are a little bit easier than warriors. Yeah, okay, in that game, Kunigund made so much damage as well, so this is the key to success. Yeah, let's just see the last dungeon. But what you could see in the dragon fight is that as mage it makes really a big difference. Like even if you get a new weapon, yeah, you really have to get the maximum damage. Yeah. So what I did in the epic event was when I started at the epic event, we had a new weapon. It was an average 30 damage more in average than before. And I saw the chances were not growing that much. No? So the maximum damage was like 200 less than before. And then I found a new weapon right afterwards. Yeah, like this 10 million crits at the end. He's like just 800,000 below zero, which means it was close. If I wouldn't kill him in that attack, he would have killed me for sure. And that's what I'm talking about. The maximum damage per crit. Of course, we're talking about critical damage. Is so important for the mage. I think it maybe I think it's important for all classes, but the difference is really noticeable. So if this weapon would have 200 less average maximum damage, I may not have beaten those dungeons. So when I just got a new weapon on Friday and the average damage was better but the maximum damage was lower, I just tried sfgame tools to play around, yeah, and I just increased. So I used the same average damage, but I just increased the maximum damage by 200. So if I would use this weapon, I would say, let's just try to use the dungeon simulator with 200 points of damage more in the maximum. So I would say not 2035, I would say 2235. And then I would decrease the lowest damage on the left side from 791 to 591. And that's what I did on Friday. And when I found out that the result said the dungeon could be beaten with a 2 times as high percentage than before, then I was really stunned. Yeah, so I knew I had to find a new weapon with a bigger maximum damage, and then luckily I found one. Yeah, so if I just have a look at some mages like the Brady, he has a better weapon than I have. To be honest, maybe it's new. He should make it to 300 as well. Crow, for example. Okay, the weapon is older. Sivers has a quite actual weapon, but the maximum damage could be above 2000. So if I would be Sivers, I would check this weapon with on the right side above 2006 damage, and on the left side 802 damage. I would just compare the results by sfgame tools with a different damage gap. And I did it on Friday personally, and I saw the results became way better. So I looked up for another weapon. That's the old thing I wanna to share. Yeah, this is important to know from my point of view. I'm really liking the mage, but I see the problems. And yeah, for example, what I did as well, I used the alter ego for another elemental damage. I mean, the new dungeons all come with elemental resistance and damage, and so it makes a difference if you have like 11% on top for fire or lightning if your opponent has lightning resistance. Yeah, so that's the second thing I'm I'm doing actually. But now, for now, I will have to save some mushrooms. So I'm happy that I became 300, and it's looking good for that goal at the moment. Yeah. Uh, so anyway, I wish you a nice Sunday, and good luck in case you use the epic event to achieve something as well. Oh, and those guys at 3 at the night don't say congratulations to me. Well, at least they said congratulations to Age of Hall of Fame. Psycho L left us. Yeah. Okay, that's always possible. Yeah, people are leaving. Which is unfortunate. He already became official. He is a good char. He's a high level char. Right. Kind of high level. I think it won't make a difference against Somerville at the moment, but that's interesting. So he joins a much weaker guild without saying something. At least we think. We don't know. I don't have any informations. And he just is official. Maybe he was already in this guild, joined us during a specific time. Maybe there's an agreement. I'm not sure, but anyways, if we are just 49 members, those guys will try to get a new one. So maybe another guild might lose an important member. Yeah, but still, it's looking good. And at the moment, we are on the top, and I would like to stay in a guild which is number one for a long time. Because I haven't been within a guild from the beginning, which was Blade 1, yeah. Anyways, it's another topic. Yeah? I don't want to be sound arrogant, but in the last 2 years, or from the start of server 41, I never, besides one server at server World 54 International, I was part of a top 1 guild, but on this server I quit it due to the tweet. That's unfortunate, but here I don't want to quit, so that's why I always want to be in the number 1 guild here, and as long as Buena Capitis can hold it, I'm pretty much fine with it. So, and yeah, I already said goodbye, so goodbye, see you soon.